And I'm wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer. To take her higher, higher.
Hey Ray Bays, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Araya Hope, and yeah, we're gonna try this again. Okay, I think I really want to call y'all Ray Bays because I just think that's so fire. But do y'all like Hey Ray Bays or Hey Lovelies? Which one y'all like? Lovelies was my thing. Ray Bays is new, but I just think Ray Bays is so cute. It's so. This is my umpteenth time, doing the whole YouTube thing. I did it once. I tried once back in like 2017, and then I did it again in like 2021, 2022, and now here I am again, 2025, going into 2026. But this time is different, God willing. What's in store for today is I had my friends ask me 3 questions apiece. So I got all my questions here, and I'm going to answer the questions while doing a little bit of coloring. I thought that this would be perfect for, my first video. This is going to help me practice speaking because I don't want to use a bunch of filler words. I'm working on slowing down when I speak so that I can speak fluently and get more, have the verbiage instead of well, yeah. I'm tired of that. So let's jump right into it with the first question. I'm gonna start off kind of easy. How to pronounce your name, and is it your real name? My name is pronounced Araya Hope, and yes, that is my real name. My first name is Araya, and my middle name is Hope. Shouts out to my grandfather for naming me, and he named his church after me too. So loved. But yes, Araya Hope is my name, and I feel like that encompasses me. Like, it's the perfect name for me. If y'all see me looking over here, it's because I have a mirror right here because I'm recording from my back camera and I don't have all the technology yet. So I got a mirror right here so I can like kind of look at myself, see what I got going on. Second question is, how old are you? I am 26, and now I was about to say 25 because sometimes I forget how old I am. But yes, I turned 26 in September, so 2026 I will be turning 27. Wild. Where are you from? I am from Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Indiana. Nap. If you from there, then you know. Is this black? It is. Negro. I just moved to Texas in May 1st of 2025. So I'm no longer in that, but yeah. I love my city though. Love my city. Not much there, but I love it. It's home. What is my favorite color? My favorite color is pink. Love pink. But I also love colors. I like to be colorful. I've always been like that since I was a little girl. I express myself through like just colors, putting different colors together. I've always liked that. I love bright colors, but pink. And this isn't a question, but I guess I will go into this because it's just like on my heart to say that for me, I feel like the Lord wants to use what I'm already passionate about as a way to, use me for whatever he has in store or whatever he wants me to share. Because since I've started my journey, even before I got saved, being on social media and just sharing like, the wisdom that I felt I had. True wisdom comes from the Lord, so that's why I say I felt I had. But I think it's always been something that I have loved to do. But now I feel like it's something that I still want to do, but I feel like the Lord has really been nudging me to do this, like to create. I'm a very creative person, and I noticed that when I'm not creative, I'm usually somewhere having a hard time. Because I'm very creative, and lately I've realized, like, I've been remembering all the ways that I have always loved to create and express myself. And from a young age, I've been remembering, like, I've always been a good writer, and I forgot how much I love to write. Like, if you know me, I am a journaler, and I don't journal as often as I used to, but I've been trying to get back into it or whatever. But I love to journal. But before journaling, I used to write like poems. I was going through my pictures, just deleting some, old pictures, and I came across this poem that I wrote back. It had to be in like 2019 when I was in college, and I wrote a poem for I was in a creative writing class, and that was the first thing that sparked my memory, because it was like, I took a creative writing class in college, but that wasn't the first time, because I also took a creative writing class in high school, and I wrote another poem that I ended up finding. But anyway, I found a poem, and it was a great poem, and the name of the poem is called God-Fearing Woman. And that's another story for another day. But yeah, like, I read the poem, and the poem was just so beautiful, and it made me like, what? Like, I had this type of depth and this type of creativity, this type of connection to God at that time. Like, it just unlocked a new memory. And so I started looking through my notes, because like I said, I'm a writer. I write everything, even when it comes down to like responsibilities and things I need to remember. I'm a to-do list kind of girl, like all the things. So I was looking through my notes just to see like if I had a little folder in my notes of like, creative writing. And I had a whole folder of poems. And I came across another one called I Am From. And I wrote this one in high school. So this had to be like 2018 when I was in a creative writing class. And I'll read y'all these poems one day. But maybe my next video I'll read one. But yeah, so I love to write. But I say all that to say that I'm a very creative person. And I have noticed that I've been in an unhealed space for so long, and it's just pulled me further away from the things that I love and the things that bring me true joy and allow me to express myself was the main point that I was trying to get to. Because I feel like the one reason why I have always loved the idea of YouTube is because it has always made me feel free enough to take up space and be myself. That's something that I feel I've struggled with my entire life. It's just feeling comfortable in my own skin and embracing myself and taking up space and, being unapologetically myself, while also not being ashamed of making like that. I make mistakes, and that, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna fall, get back up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that process has always felt so shameful for me. And being on YouTube allows me to express myself and just be myself. And that is why I feel like I've always come back to YouTube whenever I'm in a space where I'm, I feel like I'm coming into myself, or I'm growing, or I always feel like I need to create. I need to get on TikTok. I got something to say. And here I am again. And this time I feel like the Lord it's really been on my heart for a while, like, to create content. And I've been wanting to get back on YouTube for a while, but as I said earlier, just perfectionism, fear has caused me to like just keep straying away from it. So then I started to get on TikTok, and I've been on TikTok recently. I've been off of TikTok for probably about a month. I got off TikTok like the end of October, and I haven't been back on since. And today's December 6th. So I haven't been on TikTok. I had to go on and delete the app because it was a distraction for real. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with y'all about, like, you know, why I keep doing YouTube, and what it means to me. It's just a space that I'm creating for myself to embrace myself, to share myself, to be vulnerable, to be authentic. Like, that is what this page is all about. It's just expression, pure vulnerable expression, and, you know, teaching myself, giving myself the space to just be, but also to take up space unapologetically. As where do you see yourself in 5 years? Something that I pray about now is for God to show me, you know, what's next for me as far as entrepreneurship. So I see myself as an entrepreneur, but doing something that serves the Lord. Sometimes I think like maybe I will end up doing hair again, because doing hair, I want to do something that is brings service to my community. And doing hair was just that. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily saved then, so I can only imagine, you know, the ways that God can use me in that space now. But I don't know if that's, you know, what I will be doing. But I know I see myself having a business. I just don't know what it is just yet, and I'm in no rush, honestly. Hopefully I'm in love somewhere. I see myself building community, like meaningful friendships, and I'm not meant to be alone, even though, you know, I don't mind being alone. I am a person that enjoys my solitude, but to an extent. I've learned that there's only so much I can do, so much I can grow, you know, until you become stagnant and stuck in your ways, you know, being alone. So I see myself in community for sure. I see myself graduated from college, hopefully, prayerfully. But also, I am making it clear that I don't really know, because the last year of my life has been it has plummeted me into a space that I had no idea was coming. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it changed me as a person, as a woman, in so many different ways. Like, to my core, it changed me. So I don't know everything that I thought I knew. You know, I'm leaving a lot of space for the Lord to let his, you know, to have his way. So I don't know, but those are the things that I do hope for. I do hope to be in community. I do hope to be in business again. You know, I do hope to be financially stable, and not just for me, but for my family too. I do hope to be an inspiration to my community. I do hope to serve my community in any way that I can through sharing my testimonies. And, you know, I hope to be further along in my YouTube career, and like that it be a career. That'd be lovely. But yeah, so let's keep going because I don't want to ramble. If you could send one message to yourself 5 years ago, what would it say? What would Araya need to hear? Stop searching for validation and love outside of myself and the Lord. I don't mean that to be cliche, but, you know, getting saved made me realize that everything that I was searching for outside of myself, I was really searching for the Lord. I was searching for validation. I was searching for unconditional love. I was searching for understanding. I was searching for fulfillment. I was searching for, you know, protection, and like I was searching for all those things in the wrong areas, and Jesus is who I really wanted. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know that. But that's what I would tell myself, because that girl was heartbroken. She was stressed out. She felt like an alien in her own body, in her own community, unloved, unlovable. She felt she was in survival mode, you know what I'm saying? And she was scared. and you know, like just doing the most. Like, what's a belief you recently changed your mind about? A belief that I recently changed my mind about. What's a belief that I recently changed my mind about? Let's see, baby. I change my mind all the time. Like I told y'all, I'm a very introspective person. So you'll hear me say something one day and realize not even the next day, maybe even 30 minutes later, once I get my mind right, feel that conviction that I was wrong. I'm gonna keep it simple because this was actually like yesterday, I think, that I had this conversation with myself, is that everybody is not out to get you, baby. I am very, 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 very sensitive. And a lot of people don't know that. And I recently realized that I haven't showed people, I've done myself a disservice by not showing people that. And what made me realize that was because last year, December 14th, 2024, I had a child and she passed. She was born stillborn. And I remember I was over my best friend's house and we were just sitting in the bed talking, and she was like telling me that she doesn't think she said that I'm not an emotional person. And my best friend knows me. So for her to say that, that let me know that I have done myself a disservice, because I don't show people how emotional I actually am. Like, I am emotional. I'm very sensitive. Like, little things hurt my feelings. And most of the time I don't share it. And that's what made me realize that was because she said that she doesn't think I'm an emotional person, but I am. I'm very sensitive. And that's what I mean when I say I don't trust people, because I know how sensitive and soft I really am. And you know, I just know what it feels like to be, you know, I know what it feels like to be just abandoned emotionally. So I tend to like reject myself before I can be rejected. We came to the realization that like everybody's not out to get me. Just because somebody did something that may have disappointed me or made me feel a type of way, like it's okay for you to feel a type of way, but your feelings are not facts. And everybody is not out to get you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is not out to make your life harder or, you know, hurt you. It just so happens that humans are gonna hurt you. People are gonna hurt you. Like, that's something that I recently changed my mind about. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even realize that was a mindset until I had to check myself on it. Questions are really good. Like, more people, they ate. Okay, let's get a little deep. It says, when you think about your daughter, what part of your own personality do you hope she would have inherited from you? That's crazy. What part of my personality would I have hoped she inherited from me? TikTok. I don't know, baby. What part of my personality? What part of my personality would I hope that my baby would have inherited from me? I would say I would have loved for her to be just as affectionate as I am. And you know, somebody who's not afraid, because yeah, I'll say that. I'll say I would have loved for her to be as affectionate and loving and uplifting as I am in community. I would have loved for her to have gotten that aspect of my personality. Also, my bubbliness. Like, I'm very, very bubbly, and like, yeah, I'm very bubbly. And I don't know how to describe it other than just saying bubbly. But yes, I am really bubbly, and I would love for her to have had that, you know, like just that personality that makes people love to be around you and feel, you know, comfortable, like at home with you. I have to share that whole story, you know, with y'all another day. As far as my baby, I do love talking about her and just that experience, so don't hesitate to ask me questions, because it's healing to talk about her, honestly. What's something you had to unlearn to finally love yourself? Something that I had to unlearn to love myself is that I am the Lord's perfect workmanship. That he knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. That he made no mistakes when he created me. And that's not to say that he has ordained my wicked ways, my sinful ways. That's not to say that, but it's to say that everything that the devil meant to destroy, kill, steal, and destroy, you know, my place in the kingdom, the Lord can and will use that for his glory, for my good. That is something that I had to learn. The idea of being imperfect and being human, it's just always been tough for me, because I've always just struggled with perfectionism. And so that helped me to know that, like, if the Lord be with me, who can be against me? Like, it doesn't matter if you mess up. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. If you know, like, it's okay. Like, he made no mistakes when he created you. You're not a burden. You're not, you know, unlovable. You're not ugly. You're not, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, my worst day is not intimidating to God. My ugliest, most wickedest action is not intimidating to God, you know? In fact, he wants to use it. Like, he doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So just everything that everything that I know I've always wanted to do, and like the intentions that are in my heart, for every mistake, for every bad thing, every mess up that I've made, like, that has made me just feel unworthy. Unworthy is the word. I have spent so much of my life feeling unworthy, and knowing that he made no mistake has helped me to love myself. It's helped me to keep my head up, because it's like, honey, please, like, no, he made no mistake. And this is doing something for me right now, because I needed this. Like, I needed this. It's meant for me to be doing this. Thank you, Jesus. That was a good question. Thank you for that question. Let's see. What made you move to Texas, and what was the biggest struggle? Let's talk about it. Excuse me. I actually plan to make a video talking about my move and everything, because, baby, if only you knew. If only you knew, for real. Moving to Texas. Okay, what was the question? What made me move to Texas? What made me move to Texas? First of all, I should add that I've always wanted to live in Texas. Well, not always, but for years. So I lived here 2020. It wasn't even 2020. It was like 2017. Matter of fact, if y'all go back to my very first YouTube video, it's like a what's in my bag. That had to be like 2017. That video, I lived in Texas. I lived in Dallas at the time. My mom had moved us. We moved here. Me and my family moved to Dallas. And while I loved, like, I really loved it. I loved the houses. That was something that was, like, that really stood out to me. But it really wasn't just the houses. It was the fact that there was so many Black people who lived in these houses. Like the school that I went to, super huge school. Everything really is bigger in Texas, but it was all black kids, like mostly black kids. And I loved that. That's really what attracted me. It was like success. It was like success, but black people. That's what drew me to Texas. Maybe like in my 20s, that's when I started taking hair seriously, and I made it into like a for real business, like not just me, like I made it into a business. And that was kind of like when having a hair business on social media like started. Like I kind of was doing hair before it was a big deal to post content and all that. So I was doing hair, and I started it for real, like getting a logo and posting content and reels and stuff around this time. And I was doing so well because I also worked a full-time job. Like I said, I was a hustler for real, but I was doing so well that I was able to hire my best friend to be my assistant. So she was like able to schedule my appointments while I was at work, because I was missing a lot of money because I was working a full-time job at a hotel while also being a full-time hairstylist. Well, I guess you could say it was part-time. I don't know. But I was doing hair and working a full-time job at the same time. So I was able to get more clientele because I was able to hire my best friend to, be my assistant. So we kind of, once we started doing that and we seen how well it was going, we was like, okay, like I want to expand this, and I want to start selling hair, but I also want to move to Houston because I feel like, I've always wanted to go back. But plus, like, I know if I was to move to Houston, like, I could really blow this up. Like, I had a whole plan, We went and visited in April of 2022. Or April of 2021. I don't remember. I keep getting it mixed up. But, yeah, we went and visited. We went apartment shopping, everything. And then something just changed. Like, my journey just changed, and I didn't end up going. I ended up moving back to Indy, and I stopped doing hair that same year. And I did all of this so abruptly too. But yeah, so that was kind of like, I was supposed to, let me tell it, I was supposed to be living here in 2022. But then when fast forward a couple more years to about 2024, me and my boyfriend at the time, we wanted to move out of state. We was looking into, he really wanted to move to Atlanta. I didn't, for real. I would have, because I do like Atlanta. But, I just wanted to be in Texas. So, we was kind of planning on it, and then that didn't work out. So then after everything happened with my baby, I just decided, I need to change. I need to do something. And so I literally did. It was crazy because all the time that I spent the last times trying to plan to move, I did so much planning. But this time, y'all, when I say, I made my mind up, and, I really felt like the Lord was on my side with this. It was like, the way that everything happened, I know it was the Lord. And I felt like he was really trying to set me apart and use this time for consecration. And so, I feel like that's why it happened so seamlessly the way that it did, considering all the other factors, which, like I said, I plan to do an actual video about that where I can give y'all more details. So that was the biggest struggle, was really just overcoming the temptation to give up, to not believe that I could do it. That was really it. But I stayed in my word, and I just stayed, I have faith. That's really what, that, doing this was one big, that's what showed me, I got faith. I got faith, big faith. What is something in your life that you've done, or what is something that you've done in your life that you would do differently? Finishing school when everything was easy. What are the cultural differences in the black people down south versus up north? So as you know, Indiana is up north, is north, and I live in Texas, which is down south. there definitely are differences. I would definitely say the obvious is that people down south are much more friendly and polite, I would say, which is another thing that I love about down south, because that is my personality. Like, I'm the type of person that talks to strangers and, you know, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a great day. Like, I'm that type of person. And it's not to say that people in that you don't find people in that like that, because you do, but there are a lot of people in that, especially, and I know this for a fact, because even like, especially like younger people who are just like, why you staring at me, and like just doing too much. Like, say hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you to hold the door. It's not gonna hurt, like, to have some hospitality. That's the word I'm looking for. Southern hospitality is real. What else? I'm tired of coloring. I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't know. I don't want to color this right now. What are some short-term goals you have? 1 to 2 year time frame. To get a car, because I don't have a car anymore. Unfortunately, going back to school will be another one. Going to school is because I know, because like I said, I've been in entrepreneurship. I know that going to school is not the only way to success, but going to school is just something that to me, it's just important to me. Like, getting my education is something that's important to me. You know, my parents didn't do that, and a lot of people that I know didn't do that, and it's just always something that's been important to me. So going to school, even if I don't use my degree, it's just something that's important to me, something to have. Like, I have the opportunity to get an education, so that's what I'm going to do. Being consistent on YouTube and seeing like where this can actually go. I just know that if I'm consistent, like, I feel like it's going to change my life. And even if it's not financially, even though I just know like that's what comes with it, but I feel like it's just going to change my life in general. In a lot of different ways that mean more than just money. What's something you wish people understood about where you are in your grief or your walk with God? So I'll answer both. Well, I'll make them 2 different questions. Something that I wish people understood about where I am in my walk with God is that I am, just like everybody else, going through a season of pruning, of, you know, restoration. And that process is not, and honestly, I wish I understood this more sometimes, that process is ugly. You know, the process of picking up your cross and following God is honestly what it looks like to be introspective, but in a whole different way, because I'm not living up to my own standards. I am living up to the standards of a holy, sacred God who, you know what I'm saying? And that's something that's even hard for me to understand, like, and give myself grace for, because it's like I said, some days I'm going to fall shorter than others, because we all fall short of the glory of God, but some days I'm going to fall short even more. Sometimes my attitude is going to be stank, or I'm going to have an idea, I'm going to be thinking this way, and then maybe the next 10 minutes I'm going to feel convicted and realize that I was wrong. Or, you know, sometimes I might, basically to say that I'm not perfect, fall short. I'm going to fall short. I'm still human. You know, I still have my ways. Like, and yeah, that's something that I hope people know. I don't even say wish, because I don't think that that's something that people are like not fine to know, but it's like, it's something to be aware of. Like, and that's something that I want y'all to know too, is like, y'all gonna hear me speak about the Lord and speak about all these things, and then I may sound so wise and so like I got it all together, but I don't. Trust me, I do not. And something that I wish people understood about where I am in my grief is that, okay, this is later, I'm editing the video, but I wanted to add this in here. Another thing that I want people to know about where I am in grief is that I am very tender right now. And so I'm learning that a lot of things feel like an attack, or, you know, it just hits a little bit harsher right now because I'm just in a very, 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 very sensitive spot in my life right now. And sometimes I don't realize that everybody doesn't understand or know what it is that I'm going through internally. And so that's something that I would like for people to know about my grief right now. And it's been hard for me, especially with living away from my family and friends, because the people that I'm around don't know me. So they don't know how to interact with me, especially while I'm going through something such as this. So that's something that, you know, I would definitely say is like, just proceed with caution around me. And I don't mean because I'm gonna blow up in your face or nothing, but because like, maybe I will, I don't know, but mainly because it really be hurting me. Like my feelings just been, I'm just very tender right now. And something else that I want to add is that give me hugs and kisses. Hug me, kiss me. Don't just walk up to me and just kiss me. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, love on me. Hold my hand. You know what I'm saying? Say something kind, like, because that will go a long way with where I am right now. So I wanted to add that. Grief is weird. Grief is so weird. I don't even know, because I'm even still, you know, I'm still understanding it, babe. Like I'm still trying to, you know, figure out, I don't know. But I will say that grief fluctuates. And, you know, it may be a year from now. First of all, it hasn't even been a year yet since you know, my child passed. She was born December 14th. It's only December 6th. So her birthday is coming up. So it hasn't even been a year. It's still very, very fresh. You know, some could even say I was still in postpartum. I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You can be in postpartum, I think, up to a year, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, is that grief fluctuates, you know. And honestly, lately, like, I've been grieving a lot more than I was a couple months ago when it was more fresh than it is now, you know. I've been grieving a lot. Yeah. So that's something that I hope people understand, is that grief it fluctuates, and that's just the grief of a person, you know, of the loss of a person, but especially a child. Like, I don't even know where to begin, you know. I'm shaking. It is something that is going to be ongoing, I feel like, you know. And each time I go through, you know, a moment of grief where I feel like I'm just really, like, extremely down, I learn something new about myself, about the Lord, you know. So it fluctuates, but I also will say that in this season, I'm not just grieving the loss of my child. I'm grieving a lot of things, because losing a child while also simultaneously being saved and picking up my cross, that's grievous. Is grievous a word? That causes a lot of grief in itself. So much has changed. I done picked up and moved my whole life over 1,000 miles away from everything I've ever known, by myself. Like, so many things have changed, so many losses, you know. Before that, I was, ending a almost decade long relationship that meant a lot to me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, grief has been an ongoing thing for a while. Just missing my old self sometimes. Not missing my old self, because it's nothing about my old self that I want to go back to. So I didn't mean to say it like that. But I mean, like, picking up your cross is hard. I live in a city where I could sin freely. And you can do that anywhere, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I live in Houston. I could be out here doing whatever. God knows what. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be, especially because, I fell on hard times recently. So, like, yeah. But that's hard. It's life is very humbling. My life looks completely different than it once did. So grief is just, it's just an ongoing process. And you don't just grieve death. You can grieve a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I guess that's what I was saying. What's a gentle reminder you wish everyone could hear today? A gentle reminder that I wish everyone could hear today. A gentle reminder is this. Actually, my Bible is over there, or else I would pick it up. But I believe it is John 15. That is a chapter in the Bible that I studied for a little while, like meditated on for a while, and it's still very prevalent in my life. But he talks about the Lord being the vine, and us, or why can't I remember, child? Because I know it, but it talks about the Lord. Actually, hold on, because we gonna get this right, because this is important. Look, it's right here, because I didn't research this so many times. The vine and the branches. Let's read it. John 15 says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. This is Jesus speaking. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. Amen. That's John 15, obviously verse 1 through 4. So, and matter of fact, let's add verse 5 into there. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And that is the gentle reminder that I want to share today, is that apart from the Lord, we can do nothing. We can do nothing. And this kind of wraps into what I was just talking about being before glorification, being in a season of constant pruning, because even Jesus went through that process. Because as human, being wrapped in the flesh, we're going to fall short. You can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. So remember that. This is the last question. Who or what has surprised you the most in your healing journey? Who or what has surprised me the most? What has surprised me the most in my healing journey is that just because you're healing or being healed, because like I said, apart from the Lord, nothing can be done. I spent so much time doing healing work and all the things, because y'all, I used to be, and this is also another story for another day, but it's a testimony that I used to be heavily into witchcraft, heavily into idolatry. and divination, all the things, believing in astrology and crystals and all the things that I was doing. Now, granted, my heart posture was in the right space. I did genuinely want to be a better human being, a better person, you know, and I do feel like it did do something. Like, I pulled up a lot of roots. It was just like, once I pulled up all those roots, I was just holding them in my hand, because at the end of the day, I can do nothing apart from the Lord. What has surprised me the most is that even when you're getting better, it doesn't mean that it's going to always look or feel like it. It takes me having to focus on the things above, reading my word and remembering, you know, what God has brought me from, to recognize like, okay, things actually are getting better. I'm on this journey with the Lord, and yet I thought this should have been the best time of my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that there won't be, you know, and that there hasn't been, but has it been just like a cakewalk? No, it hasn't been at all. And that's something that has surprised me. Like, honestly, to be a believer, to be a disciple, is to suffer, because Jesus suffered, and we all are going to suffer in the name of Jesus. Read the Bible, baby. But the Bible says to count it all as, James 1 says to count it as pure joy whenever you face trials of many kind, because it produces perseverance. When this season is over, I'm going to look back and see what it was all for. I'm going to look back and be able to have a bird's eye view of what the Lord is doing. But, you know, and now I do have those revelations, but I'm in the thick of it. So it's, you know, they're very far and few in between. Because sometimes I just be in my feelings about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through this. I don't want to do it. We are going to end off this video right here. I hope that y'all enjoyed my video. I had a lot of fun making it. And yeah, just getting to talk to y'all and just being in front of the camera, just creating, like, just the whole process, setting up the camera, and like, it's just so me. I loved all of it. So I pray that y'all loved it just as much as I did. I'm looking forward to this journey. And like I said, let me know down in the comments if I should call y'all my Ray Bays or my Lovelies, or not my Lovelies. The intro would be like, hey Ray Bays, or hey Lovelies. I like Ray Bays better, but let me know down in the comments what y'all think. Let me know what videos y'all want to see from me, any other questions or things y'all want me to clear up. Let me know. Just let me know. I hope y'all are doing amazing. And if you are not, James 1, read it. Count it all as joy, baby. God is on our side, and he will never leave nor forsake us. So yeah, like, let's do this. And shout out to all of my family and friends who sent me these amazing questions to answer. I love y'all for supporting me and everything that I do. And yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all soon. Peace.
To the sky, and I'm a wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer.